Welcome. This is Darian Young, and I will be showing you what's new in tFLOW 8.5. Here we have a summary. Very excited about the Automation Asset Manager. This is our new tool for allowing you to be able to manage all of your own configuration files. So cut paths, overlays, profiles, and so forth. Those of you that have done some work in this area know that you used to have everything embed into the Automation Script Manager. So everything was in the script itself and much more limited. You'd have to edit it offline and then upload new automation scripts whenever you want to change any of these parameters. Now with the Automation Asset Manager, you can do that on your own, and you can upload things directly into tFLOW, and those objects become available to the system via drop-down menus and appear automatically. So we'll be seeing what that looks like here in just a couple of moments. Next thing is the order status report. So the idea here, of course, is to decrease the number of emails, give you more information in your one email, and that's what the whole concept of the status report is about. Is you have the order information as well as all of the job information in one email that you can configure, and we'll be seeing a little bit more on that in just a moment. But I think many of you will like that concept quite a bit on decreasing the amount of email that goes out. We've also taken advantage of that to redesign the email alert, make it even more mobile friendly for the email alerts as well. We've also greatly enhanced the Bracero integration by including pricing engine and product attribute support. Very excited about that one as well. It gives you much more powerful integration. As most of you know, we've been integrated with tFLOW and Bracero for quite some time now. This has been the next big step we've been working on for some time, and it's now ready. Last thing, it's a small feature, but I wanted to make sure it was mentioned here for all of the tFLOW users out there. We've had several requests for this, so I want to make sure it didn't fall off the map. And that's that now you can define your own ship date or leave it blank or reset it to nothing if you'd like. I know many of you in the past have requested to not have a ship date assigned. Now you can do that. So we'll go ahead and be taking a look at each of these one by one. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the Automation Asset Manager. So with that, let me go ahead and jump over here. And so you'll see over here on the left side where we have all of the configuration icons or accesses here. There's a new one down here that's replaced automation scripts, and it's called Automation Assets. And so this manager has combined the Automation Script Manager and given it much more power, as you can see here, allowing you to upload all sorts of files and manage them here directly. So there's two views here. So the standard icon view, you can switch this over to a list view, as you see here. I'm going to go ahead and back over to the icon view. And over on the left side we have here, so the Automation Scripts Manager hasn't disappeared, it's just been included now into the Automation Asset Manager. So you still have access here to all of your automation scripts, so all of your finishing, your pre-flight, and your proof scripts. Works just like it did before. You can just drag and drop right into the window and they become available. You can select a file here and get more information about it over here as well. If you want to put things into subfolders or move them around, you can do that here directly. So you can grab things, multiple files here, grab them and move them into other directories. As you see over here, there's also now a cut path folder. So any PDF that you want to use as a cut path, just drag and drop it into the window and you have it available here. You can also use the add button. So if you want to add a particular file, that way you can do it this way as well. You can also create your own subfolders. If you have a long list of cut paths, for example, you can create subfolders in here and organize them according to whichever parameters you want. Same thing for fold lines and grommets and ICC profiles. As you see here, we have normal as well as a device link subfolder. So all of these different things you can now manage in here directly. And what's really nice about it is these become available automatically within the products, whether you're creating your products in the product manager or in the orders themselves. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example of what that looks like. So if I go and add an order now, and in my product type, I'm going to go ahead and choose, for example, banner. What we'll see is if I go over here to my finishing settings, anything in here such as the grommet is now accessing that grommet folder. So I have a grommet file, and you see here, this is accessing the grommet folder. So that's where I have all the listing of the grommets that I can choose from here. And that same thing works for any cut paths or overlay files or anything else that I have in my different products that I've set up. All those are now available to me. You see here in my pre-flight settings, same thing when I do my color space. If I want to convert color, these are all of the ICC profiles. That's why I have this device link subfolder here. Or as you see here, a listing of all the profiles in that folder. So again, really nice functionality here, giving you much more power, much more flexibility on setting up all of your products and versions of products using this manager. Again, you can just drag and drop, create your own folders. You can upload new files in here. You can in your automation scripts. You can also import new automation scripts as well as export. So really nice functionality here, give you much more power within tFLOW. So next function here is the order status report. So let me go ahead and open one of those up for you. So here's an example of the new order status report. So up here, this will be where your logo goes, just like it does in previous versions. But the new report layout here is you have this order summary right in this area here. So the total job count within the order, how much complete the order is, any new comments. This is quite nice. The report that goes out differentiates between any previous comments and any new comments that have been made since the last status report you received. So you see in this case there's nothing new, but of course there are comments in here. And this will take you to the order online. So as you go down, we'll get an order summary. So this is the activity of the order, so everything that's happened here. So this would be any comments on the order, any jobs that have been added to it or deleted, or order parameter changes, things like that will appear here. You see this more button down here. We'll see in just a second how in the email setting, or in the email settings, you can define how many activity items you'd like to have. So in this case, I have it set to 10, and then once it gets to 10, it just gives me more buttons. So if I want to see more, I would need to click on that, and it'll take me online. I can go ahead and access all of them. If you'd like to increase that to 25 or 50, however many you'd like, make for a long email, but you can do that. Just underneath the order activity, you have each job. So for every job, you have the job status here, the thumbnail, and then all of the job activity that's been going on as well. And that's for each of the different jobs that are within the order. So as you go down here, you can see so each of the different items or activity that's happened in each job is listed for us. And then if I go all the way down, I'm just going to show you an example here also of the comments. This is quite nice. So you see here, these are comments that appear here as well. So again, with just one email, you can get a complete overview of everything that has happened here in this order. Comments, state changes, everything. So that's what the order status report is. Let's take a quick look on how you can configure that as well. So it's quite nice. You have quite a few parameters you can set up with that. So it's accessible here in your email alerts under your user profile. And so down here is where you can turn it on or off. And if you turn it on, you see here you can define, I want to send every, and then you say every number of hours, every number of minutes. So you might be concerned that if you set it for a low number like this, like 2 minutes, you'll get just too many emails. Actually, this is also works in conjunction with this option down here, where you can send a report only if there's been a change within the order. So even if you had this set to 1 minute, you might not get a new email for several hours, because if there's no change to that order, it's not going to send a new one. So I recommend also turning this option on. So a change means that a new job has been added, or job state has been changed, or a new comment's been added, different items like that. In addition, you can also set the days of the week you want to receive it. So if you don't plan on working Saturday and Sunday, you can go ahead and turn those off. You can also turn on, or let's say turn off the notification up to a certain date. So if you plan on going on vacation for a week, you can go ahead and do that and say, I don't want any more reports until this day. You can also, this is where I mentioned before, you can define the entries you want to include. So how many entries you want to include in that for each item for the jobs and for the orders. This is if you want to include the order activity, job activity, and then again, I like to have all jobs listed. But if you want to have only those jobs which have some sort of an update included, you can click that button there. Okay, so that is the new order status report. I hope you enjoy it. I think will help you to decrease the number of emails you and your customers are receiving considerably. Okay, so the next is the email alert. Because of the redesign of the order status report, we've also redone the email alert layout, which is this one here. So we spent quite a bit of time making this mobile friendly as well. Of course, the last version was also mobile friendly, but this one's even more so. You see here it's quite flat, very clean, simple. It's very easy to see it both in an email application like here on my desktop as well as in a mobile device. So again, your logo will be shown up here at the top and with a salutation to whoever the user is. And then down here you have, just like before, the status of the job and its job number. This takes you to the job with its thumbnail. And then down here, these are the different fields that are listed. Of course, you can turn them on or off. And then down here, if this, as in this case, the job is on hold, any errors or warnings will be listed below. So the general concept of the alert hasn't changed too much, but the layout has, and we believe it's much more modern and easy to read than the previous one. Next thing here is the Pressero Integration Enhancement. So I'm going to be spending a couple minutes on this. It's a pretty big deal. So I want to make sure that the functionality is clear here. So if we go over here to one of our Pressero websites, for all of you Pressero users, you'll know that when you set up your storefront here, that you can use pricing engines or product attributes to make items which are available for the customer to either choose from or decide, right? So for example, here we have things like how many, what the height and the width are going to be of the item that we're ordering, and that could be something that can be changed here. And other items such as the type of material, which in this case is coming from a drop-down list, other things in here. So all these different features that you make available with your product, these can now be sent over and used by tFLOW to program the products in tFLOW. So that means that if you put in a value here, whatever that may be, if the customer puts in 18 by 24, this will tell tFLOW, hey, I need you to pre-flight or resize the artwork in that's coming in according to this new size and not based on a static product. So, and that's for all sorts of these different types of values you can send over, like things like cutting or things like that as well. So what that looks like then, if we go over here to the order summary, for this order that I put in previously, as you see here, it has, again, from the order summary, the quantity, the height, the width, type of material, and so forth. And then also some of the customer information, their name, their email, their phone number, things like that. So what that means here then, if we look at the order that came through tFLOW, so 29.1, if I go to the order, I'm going to go ahead and go inside this order now, and if I go to that job, and let's go ahead and look at the job information. Then we can see here that we've mapped several of the fields. So as you see here, it's pulled in, the print width, the print height that was placed in that particular order, the quantity here, the phone number, the email, the person's name. So these are all the different, and then down here the substrate. So any of these that you're seeing here could all be mapped. We mapped again 5 or 6 of these to give you an idea of what it looks like. But again, all that information comes in directly, which means then that this file was pre-flighted and sized based on these parameters here. So pretty important addition to the system. Gives you much more flexibility. It also decreases the number of product types that you need to use, as now you can set them automatically based on your customers' choices when they're making their orders. So I'd encourage you to take advantage of that. For those of you that haven't seen earlier videos, if you're interested in understanding the connection between tFLOW and Bracero and how the products are and output queues from tFLOW are sent to Bracero, or the status updates and how jobs are pushed through, I encourage you to watch one of our earlier videos on that. That's been around for quite a while now. Okay, so last thing I want to discuss here is the optional ship date. So again, down here in the system settings, you have in the workflow, the option to set it as no ship date, or set it to today, or number of days, after today. So again, you can set whatever the default's going to be, but even more importantly, what that allows you to do here is when you are creating your order, you can, as you see here, I had set to none, so I could just go ahead and create the order with none. If I do set a particular date and then change my mind, I can clear it out now. So again, it's just something you can, have a lot more configurability on that. You're not forced to put in a fictional ship date anymore. Okay, so before I close here, I'd like to make one quick mention for those of you that haven't been keeping up, or don't know, and also because we have several new items in our product library. So if you go to support.aleyant.com and click on tFLOW, this is where we're constantly updating and adding new products to our product library. And so we have several new ones in here. So if you scroll down here, you'll see Smart Prep library. And so here are some of the new ones that you may not have seen. For example, we have a tent. So, and for those of you, this is new. This is the area that we post all of the products that become available in tFLOW. So you don't need to download the pre-flight or the proof of the finishing, because we make these available as products already in tFLOW. But if you want to use this as a template or as a sample to create your own artwork, this is where you can get them from. But you also get a description here of what exactly it's doing, right? So in this case, the artwork that gets uploaded, what happens here. So you see we're adding cut paths and fold lines into this, what the proof looks like. So it's showing the safe area here in the proof as well. So it can give you a good overview as well on the notes, the finishing, and things like that. So this is the tent. Some of the other ones that are doing advertising articles, you see here we have a pen and coffee mug. So let's go ahead and take a look at the pen here quickly. Mouse pad. So again, logo gets uploaded automatically, gets placed here on the pen, and so forth. So several new products in here. Encourage you to make use of these. It's going to save you a lot of time, not to do them yourselves. So smartphone cover. So again, we're adding 2 of these per week. So we encourage you to take advantage of those if you haven't been already. So with that, I'll go ahead and close. Wish you a happy holiday, and looking forward to working with you in 2018. We have a lot more exciting new things coming, and looking forward to the next video and telling you all about them. Have a great Christmas.